Well, good afternoon. I want to thank each of you for being here, taking time out of the start of the holiday weekend to join us here in the Commonwealth. Being elected and serving as Secretary of State, our only female constitutional officer, the youngest Secretary of State across the nation that's a female, has been a privilege. I was honored to be handed that torch a year and a half ago, overwhelmingly by the voters of Kentucky, and each day I try to use that torch to help light the way towards our brightest future. I could never have anticipated that a year and a half later we would be discussing a U.S. Senate race as the next step in carrying that torch. I'm overwhelmed by the confidence that the citizens of Kentucky and our elected officials have in my leadership. When the citizens across this state, from Boone, Kenton, and Campbell to Pike and Caldwell, all the way down to our river counties, approached me about this race and the Senate leadership, I have to tell you that I was open to the possibility. I agree with thousands of Kentuckians that Kentucky is tired of 28 years of obstruction. That Kentucky is tired of someone who has voted against raising the minimum wage while all the while quadrupling his own net worth. Kentucky is tired of a senior senator that has lost touch with Kentucky issues, voters, and their values. Over the course of the past 12 weeks, I have taken the time necessary to gather all of the facts to make a truly informed decision, and that includes listening to my supporters all across this state. Make no mistake, members of the media, this due diligence was not reluctance, it was not hesitancy, but rather a deliberate gathering of all of the necessary facts to make a decision that is not to be taken lightly. During this process, the question never was, is Mitch McConnell vulnerable? The question never was, does Kentucky deserve a change? The answer to both of those two questions remains and is yes. The question before my supporters that we have been working diligently on is how best can we continue to make a difference and move this Commonwealth forward. I'm here today to tell you that I have met with my supporters. We have had a great conversation and determined and decided that we can next make the best move, the best difference in the Commonwealth of Kentucky by running for the U.S. Senate. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, we will be forming our campaign for the U.S. Senate and thereafter working with the voters of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We have just a few minutes for a few questions, if there are questions out there.
Senator McConnell is a skilled politician and has already started running applications. Do you have any concerns or are you prepared for an uphill battle?
I will tell you that I was an underdog in the office of Secretary of State race, and I'm no stranger to being an underdog. His ads are based out of fear of losing his 30-year grip on power. And this Kentucky woman does not believe that the voters of Kentucky will be fooled that easily. Yeah. Joe?
This is a concern. You mentioned the minimum wage. What about Obamacare?
Well, I will tell you that regardless of the vote that is issued in this race, we cannot change who our president is, but we can change who we have in Washington representing Kentucky, and it's time we have somebody. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's time today, and again, thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.